Right, hello and welcome back to the Ollie DFC channel. And basically, my last video was the second leg in Derby against Derby in the playoffs for Leeds. Obviously, know how that went down, so not going to mention it again. 4-3 on aggregate to Derby. But obviously, Villa beat them in the playoff final. Get to play them again next season, weekend after my birthday. Hopefully, going to that. Not going to be as big though, as obviously big news, but I'll come to that when we're talking about Derby's position in today's video. So we're doing the table like predictions for the 1920 Championship season. So it'll be interesting to see where our team's ranked. So let's get started. Obviously, I've got some Leeds 2007 squad shirt, vinyl on the thing, and you probably can't see, but I've got a scarf on my window. So let's get into the main part of the video. Right, I am back and I don't have the cap on anymore. Didn't suit me, I don't think. I don't know. You can comment your opinions down below. So we're doing the championship predictions. Let me just get the sheet. Be 2 seconds. Got it. Right, so we're going to start with 24th championship table predictions for 1920 season, obviously. Right, so 24th I put Millwall. Millwall from South London, obviously. Millwall famous for their hooliganism. The 1970s, just the generations. Just they can't stop themselves, can they really? But Leeds Millwall's always a massive rivalry. It's just their nature of being rough and away at Millwall. It's like a zoo. It's crazy. It's just not pleasant. It's mental if you win, and it's mental but it's just nervous and unpleasant in the ground. I know you love that as a football fan, but it just is it's hard to explain. But I've put Millwall 24th. Obviously, I think they've had a bid for Jamal Lowe. I don't know if it's been accepted or not, but he wants to leave Portsmouth, so could be. But I think Leeds are interested in a host of other clubs. So, and Gregory's signed for Stoke today, and Morrison's left as well, and Archer's gone on a free. But you're interested in signing Bielkowski from Ipswich Polish International. So moving on to 23rd. We've got Luton Town, newly promoted, won League One in flying colours, 95 or 96 points, I think it was. In the end, they were only 2 points ahead of Barnsley, but they did start a falter at the back end of the season, and Barnsley went on a bit of a run, so it's kind of inevitable. They did go 26 games unbeaten. I think that was between November and March or something like that. And I think Charlton beat them at the Valley. That was when they came stuck. But yeah, Graham Jones, ex-assistant manager at Belgium. I think it was Belgium. I think I said no. It's not Belgium and West Brom. I don't know why I was thinking Scotland. I don't know. You've got some quality players, obviously. James, Justin, Danny Hilton, but the thing is, he's playing in League Two a couple of years ago with Oxford, so how is he gonna cut it? That's just my opinion. So sorry, Luton, but obviously you play at Kenilworth Road. You'll be a definite banana skin, in my opinion, for Borough on the opening day of the season. Well, the opening night on the televised game on the Friday night. I think you could definitely pick up all 3 points because Borough will still be trying to gel possibly, but I could be wrong and you could get absolute smashed by Borough, so it'll be interesting to watch that game. It'll be less nervous because Leeds won't be playing. So yeah, good luck to Luton. Obviously, it would be good if you stayed up because you're in the process, or you're planning to build a 25,000 seat stadium, and you'll have to be sustainable in the Championship I think, in your eyes, to warrant needing that stadium? Well, what similar? I don't know. So Luton 23rd. Swiftly moving on to 22nd. Blackburn Rovers in 22nd. Bradley Dack is a massive loss if he ends up going. You've got some decent players, but the thing is, like, I don't know, Mowbray's a decent manager, so I think you could stay up, but it was just, it is a toss-up. I think 3 teams, you, Reading and Charlton. Blackburn, Reading, Charlton are the teams that I'm looking at. These are the teams I'm looking at. If your teams I'm looking at. So yeah, if Dak leaves, you're in massive trouble, because Graham, he just can't do it by himself. He's getting too old. He just can't do it by himself. So you've got some okay players, but you can't do it by himself. Obviously, I think you've got Adam Armstrong, but I just don't rate them enough. So I've put Blackburn 22nd. 21st, I've got Reading. I was very surprised, because I do think Reading will just stay up. But back end of last year, some Premiership clubs are apparently linked with Gomez or whatever is the Reading manager, which I was very surprised at. O'Shea finished his playing career at Reading last season, so that was quite good, because he was ancient. Reading, Mo Barrow, Sonny Luco. The manager, Gomez, definitely steadied the ship, because it was very rocky, to say the least, with Paul Clement. Medeski Stadium, obviously, you play at. We played off the park. You got Lewis Baker on loan. Possibly you could bring him back, because I don't think he's one of the players that would fit into Chelsea's team. He didn't stand out at Leeds, and then he got his move to, obviously, you at Reading, and you didn't cut it. But I think you like him at Reading, so I don't see why he wouldn't go back if he's not in Lampard's plans when Lampard imminently becomes, or inevitably becomes, the Chelsea boss. So that's you, Reading in 21st. In 20th, I've got Charlton Athletic. What are you doing, Roland Duchelet? Like, what are you actually doing? You nearly lost Boyer, and if you lost Boyer, I was putting you in the relegation zone. I think you had no hope. Unfortunately, it looks like you're going to be losing Joe Rebo to Rangers. That looks pretty, close, that deal, which will be quite a big loss, but I think you've got players that can kind of fill them roles, and if you bring in some players, I think you'll be alright. I do rate your goalie, Dylan Phillips. He couldn't have done anything in the playoff final when Sarr the back pass. What was he meant to do? He couldn't do anything, but obviously you won in the end, didn't you? I think Barrow will be a big miss. Obviously you've sold him to Preston. I think he'll do bits at Preston. Score most corners, possibly. Bit of over-exaggeration there from me, but he could. We never know. And I did rate Williams, but obviously you let him go. So, I don't know. It's a tricky one. And I think you've let Vetterkeli go as well, which could come back to bite you on the backside. But I think you'll have enough to stay up. And if Boyer, he'll be the right man for you. And for that reason, I've put Charlton 20th. Right, so moving on to 19th, I've got Preston North End. Nekamecha, obviously on loan from Man City. Barkhuizen and... who was it? Barkhuizen and Sean Maguire filled in the shoes left by Hugo quite well, in my opinion. Barkhuizen came from Morecambe in League 2, who knew about him until he signed for Thurn. He's done bits this season for you, in my opinion. Alex Neil's a great manager for you, perfect fit. He plays the style of football you want to play. Ben Pearson, I think he is. Scraggly hair, plays that whole midfield role, picks up all the yellows. He doesn't, disciplinary record doesn't matter with him. unless it's a red card, obviously. It's just letting the players. It just connects the player perfectly, and that's the reason why you do so well. Paul Gallagher had an excellent season last year. One big worry though is Callum Robinson. Premier League clubs are in the hunt for him, so if they put the money where the mouth is, I think you'll have to accept an offer and take that money and reinvest that money wisely. But I think you could probably finish higher. But I've got you 19th because I think you could be losing a couple of players and quite a few. Like some of your players are on loan, and yeah. So Preston, North End 19th. 18th, I've got Barnsley. Barnsley, you've got Stendhal, I think. You've got Mawat, obviously he was key in League One for you. He was crazy. He was good. I wish he'd stayed at Leeds, but we kind of said he was surplus to requirements as such. Which I thought was a bad decision from Leeds, but look at where we are now. So I would take him back. But same with Vieira, Ronaldo Vieira. Apparently he didn't fit into... He wasn't in Bielsa's plans, so we sold him to Sampdoria. But I loved him, but that's the way football goes sometimes. So, back on the subject of Barnsley, obviously the Tigers to play Oak well. You steamrolled the back into League One and you deserve to go up. I think you would have still gone up anyway, but you were helped by the fact that Joey Barton, obviously ex-Newcastle player, Fleetwood manager, in midweek got one over Sunderland, and then Sunderland ended up losing against Fleetwood away, and you went up. So that was quite canny, and I'm pretty sure Sunderland fans weren't happy, but no one cares. So I don't know who you've brought in as such, Barnsley. You've lost Liam Lindsay, who was quite key, and your goalie's been superb in these like yo-yo seasons. He's done good in League One, League Championship rather. Couple of years back also, you won the Johnson's Paint Trophy, is how I used to call it, but I think it's the EFL Trophy or something. Now you won that a couple of years ago, I think. So you're doing all right. I rate you as a club, but I think you'll do enough and you'll stay up in 18th. Right, moving on to 17th now. We've got Doncaster 2.0. It's Hull City. Obviously, appointed Grant McCann after Adkins resigned. We're not sure. Well, I'm not sure why Adkins resigned, but I think it did have something to do with the ownership. That was just a bit unstable for his liking, possibly. I don't think he was being given funds, but if he'd stayed, Bowen gone, I think Tottenham are in the hunt, but Tottenham just haven't put the money where the mouth is until it's come to Jack bloody Clark, and now they're like, oh, well, we'll give Leeds all this money, so I think we're getting him back on a season loan though. Let's pray. So Bowen, I don't think he will stay. I think someone will sign him, but it doesn't look like it's going to be Tottenham, does it? If he goes, Krasicki possibly to, Forest, so it could, I don't know, I think you will possibly sign, maybe Marquis, I don't know. I think you will sign some Doncaster players for definite though, now you've got Grant McCann. So, Hull City, 17th. 6th, also you're in the hunt for Alan Hutton, one of 3 clubs out of Hull, Forest and Wigan. Right, moving on to 16th, we've got Swansea City. You've appointed the England under-17s manager's head coach. I think head coach is the term nowadays. Steve Cooper, I believe he's called. I think he could do good stuff, but on the other hand, a shaky season possibly for you. So it'll be interesting to see who brings in. McBurney looking possibly going to Sheffield United, but Sheffield United have been linked with quite a few players and nothing's materialised as of yet. Obviously Dan James early in the window left for Man United, but you did get 15 million, so you've been given funds, and I think your parachute payments are still going from the Prem. because it's only been 2 seasons now, so you could mount a playoff promotion push, but I've got you 16th because you haven't done any business as such yet. So in 15th we've got Birmingham City. Birmingham weren't too happy that Villa went up, but I suppose, yeah. The one bit of business between the two clubs, obviously, I think it's the first time in a while, but Jota, who was at Brentford when Dean Smith was obviously at Brentford, has gone to Villa, and Gary Gardner's gone the other way to St Andrews. Who else? I'm not totally sure. It was a really bad decision by them sacking Monk, thinking that they knew more football knowledge than Monk is just ludicrous, in my opinion. I call Monk a snake, but I don't know. He was good at Leeds. He was good at Leeds, hands down, good at Leeds, but he was a snake. Should have kept hold of him. I think there was a falling out of the transfer policy because he had a boss that was helping him do the transfers. That's just a load of bollocks, in my opinion. Just try and cover up that you didn't like him, but it's your loss. Birmingham fans were definitely not happy, especially Brummy Joe. Check out his channel. You haven't made many signs except Gardner, obviously. If you can keep all the Che Adams, that is definitely. But why not cash in on him? Southampton are desperate. Southampton have put many bids in at the moment, I'm pretty sure. Reading between the lines. Why not cash in on him? Djukovic by someone with championship quality, and you could be going there, but it depends. 14th now, Wigan Athletic. Paul Cook is a decent manager for Wigan, in my opinion. Who else though? Who else stand out? I'm not really sure for Wigan, really. You, Forrest and Hull are looking at possibly Hutton. But today, Nick Powell has left for Stoke. He's been one of five players announced at Stoke, along with Adam Davies, Jordan Cousins from QPR, Liam Lindsay also from Barnsley, Adam Davies from Barnsley, I don't know who I said he was from, Nick Powell from Wigan, and Lee Gregory from Millwall, but that was inevitable. Millwall losing many players, they're going to have to sign someone quick. Otherwise they'll be playing up front with Tom Elliott, and then they're definitely going down. So I do rate you, Wigan. Obviously I rate Paul Cook, like I said. Gavin Massey did well. Who else is it? Morsi, I think he's Egyptian actually, which I didn't realise. Until I think we played, yeah. I think I might know, but I can't remember. You've got some okay players. I'd say you have adapted without Grigg, which was always a worry, I'm pretty sure, for you, but you have adapted. If you've still got Jacobs, I think he could do stuff. So 14th, and I think you'd be happy with 14th, Wigan fans. 13th, I've got Bristol City. I don't like Lee Johnson. I'm going to put it out there now. He always moans about Leeds. Leeds this, Leeds that. Just shut up, man. Just shut up. Should actually shut up. We're going to thrash your Ashton Gate first game of the season. We're going to absolutely have you. Famous last words, guys. Famous last words. O'Dowd has turned down 3 contract renewals because it's in the lights that he wants to join Leeds. He's made that very verbal. I think you've let Frank Fielding go. I think Plymouth are interested in him. So you've only got Mayan Parr from Brighton. Brighton's 3rd choice, I think he was, when they were in the Championship. Why? Just sign a proper goalie if you're going to let decent ones go to League 2 clubs. I don't know what he might be out of contract. I don't know the ins and outs, but obviously I don't. Brownhill also Leeds are interested in, I think. So Bristol City 13th. You could finish high, you could finish lower. So 13th Bristol City. 12th Derby County. Derby County. You know what you are. A bunch of sheep shagging. You know what you are. It was inevitable when Sarri left for Turin and Juventus that Lampard, it was 90% certain Lampard was going to go to Chelsea. You just knew, and the deal's nearing close. I'm pretty sure it'll possibly be announced tomorrow. I think you might get 4 million or something. But Rowett did better. You were saying he was your better manager. Rowett did. You finished the same position, and Rowett got more points for you last season. So, like when his last season in charge. So, Lampard was really nothing. He was nothing. I'm sorry, but he was nothing. So 12th Derby, 11th I've got Middlesbrough. 11th I've got Middlesbrough. I think Borough there. Obviously Woodgate and Robbie Keane. You might do all right. Obviously Banana Skin, Luton away first game. I don't know. I think you're giving Braithwaite a second chance because he was sent out on loan by Pulis to Leganes in La Liga last season, I think it was. I think you might let go of Britt, just cash in on him. He's too inconsistent. He was decent at Forest, but too inconsistent at Borough. Besic, what was he like? He was meant to be mental. John Obi Mikel, you signed him like he was still going to be good when he's like 50. Well, obviously not. Use some common sense, for God's sake. So you've let him go. I think he had a 2-year deal and he's played about 6 months and packed his bags. Middlesbrough 11th. 10th I've got Brentford. Can I just credit you, Brentford? Your plan is just crazy. I think it's your last season in Griffin Park this year, if I'm right. You're moving, I don't know where, it's a 22,000 seater stadium. That obviously, I think everyone will miss Griffin Park. Neat little ground. The away end is tiny. But yeah, I think it's Thomas Frank now. I think he's Danish. Morpé looking like he's going to Villa possibly. Ben Rama, I think Algerian international. I think other teams are after him, but we'll have to wait and see. You could get money in and you can reinvest the way you do. You'll be up there, Brentford. But I've got you 10th now. But I do think you could do even better. Alright, 9th, we've got Huddersfield Town. I'll get the transfers that I've screenshotted the past couple of days that they've signed on your screen. I think there's, before we go through it, before it comes on, I'll add it in, but I think Reece Brown you've signed. Targeted Leeds, but he chose to sign for the Scum. What an idiot. Tommy Elphick, quality, but obviously signed for the Scum, so I can't call him that. A couple of other players, Keith Aldermoy. I think Hogg. I think I've read somewhere Wigan wanted him, but Sheffield United might want him. I don't know. You'd go to the Prem rather than Wigan. You just would. So if Sheffield aren't interested, then possibly Wigan. But I think Hogg will be going. Unfortunately, I think you could fill his shoes, in my opinion. But I don't think you see it, and I think you might have to sack him because I don't think he'll do a good job. But Huddersfield Town 9th, 8th Nottingham Forest. Martin O'Neill, obviously. Earlier in the week, Roy Keane has resigned, left to pursue his own managerial management thingies. I think you possibly could be getting Britt Sombalonga back from Middlesbrough, so that'll be interesting to see if that does happen because he was good at Forest. I think we will finish above Derby. Derby going to have to rebuild now, obviously not having Mount or Wilson back this year. I think it'll be a big loss for them. Obviously, they were kissing Lampard's toes at one point. So, I think they will get someone in. They might do alright, but I just don't like them after last season. Stop crying, Frank Lampard. I hope Leeds draw Chelsea in the cup. I so do. It'll be even better. But Derby... no, not Derby. Forest 8th. 7th, Stoke. You've announced 5 players today. I think I've already gone through them in the video. Jordan Cousins from QPR, Liam Lindsay and Adam Davies from Barnsley, Lee Gregory from Millwall, and Nick Powell from Wigan, and also possibly 20 million you might be prepared to spend on Gale. Is it worth it? Yes, no, pros, cons. I'm not sure, but it could be worth it, I think. Obviously, I think you let go of Berahino, but you sacked it. You did something wrong, so I praise you for doing that. Bojan, players like that, you just need to let go. Like, you can't keep hold of them. Like, they don't want to play in the Championship, and they don't even play well in the Championship anymore. Like, they were doing good in the Prem, but they just don't know the Championship. So just let go, save a bit of money, man. It's simple. These Championship players you brought in, if you mould your team around them, you could be alright. Nathan Jones, first full season in the job, so you got players like Clucas, like Prem, you just yo-yo. They proved themselves like Prem, kind of. Like, I think Clucas did alright at Swansea, like when they're in the Prem, but I don't know. He's now at Stoke. I don't know. It's at Stoke, 7th. 6th, we've got QPR. Definitely a dark horse in everyone's mind for the playoffs. But I've got QPR in 6th rather. Obviously, you've lost Cousins today. I just think Warburton, he's a quality manager. I don't know who exactly you've brought in at the minute for your transfers, but I just think he's a quality manager, and I think he'll do bits and he'll get you in the playoffs. So QPR 6. I don't have much to say about QPR, I'm sorry, but I've just got a feeling. I don't know. As soon as I saw you'd appointed Warburton, I was like, he gets back in from Fernandes. He gets in who he wants. I think you could get playoffs, and other people may disagree. They're entitled to their own opinion, but I think QPR in 6th. So 5th, I'm going for Sheffield Wednesday. Steve Bruce, who ate the pies, Porky Pie. Hector obviously will be definitely going back to. Hector will definitely be going back to Chelsea with their embargo, because he was quality. Hopefully he could come to Leeds. I think I'd love him at Leeds. He was good. I think possibly Westwood's contract might be getting renewed or leaving on a free. I'm not sure. I think you might be getting Adebayo. He's on a free. I think I saw somewhere possibly Cahill from Chelsea because he's a free, but his wages, I think he was offering too much. I don't rate me. I think it would be a massive coup, but the wages aspect, they just ask for too much and they're not even that good. So yeah, and you've sent out a statement of intent, if I'm being honest, releasing Matthias and some of the Deadwood, and who was your super sub, innit? Like the 7-foot tall giant. He scores a header. Hate him. A couple of years back, he just came on, just changed the game for you. Scored jammy headers against the Leeds, but we won't talk about that. 4th, I've got Cardiff. Warnock's announced he's staying another season. Manga, if you can keep hold of Etheridge, I think he's a target of Villa. I think he'll do alright, but I think Villa, you've got to give Steer a chance, because he come back in off. I can't remember where Bruce sent him on loan, but he's come back. Owen in Nyland was bad. The Strake, I don't think it was Strake. No, it wasn't Strake. The Croatian bloke, he wasn't good. So you gotta give Jed Steer a chance, because Bruce didn't give him a chance, and he's done alright. He saved the penalties at the Hawthorns, which got you to Wembley, and I think he made a couple of important saves in the final. So got to give him a chance. So I think Cardiff will be hoping they can keep hold of Etheridge. Obviously, Bamba and Manga, I think I've already mentioned that. 2 solid backline partnership for Cardiff. In the midfield, Joe Rawls, Aaron Gunnarsson, his throw-in is immense. I don't know how he throws it so far. That's just your key, isn't it? Zaha, Mendes Lang is desperate to get back into the Premiership, so will he turn it on this season? We don't know. Hoylett's always quite good. I think you'll have a good season in general, Cardiff, and you could finish high, you could have a crap season, but Cardiff City 4th. 3rd, West Bromwich Albion now. West Brom, they're I think there was talk about West Ham are not messing around, by the way. Talk of West Ham wanting Rondon, and they would give you 10 million plus Jordan Hugill and Sam Byram, and reading between the lines, from your fans, you're in search of a right back, so that would be quite good. But I think plus them two players, I think you could get more out of Rondon. He showed his class when he was at Newcastle at the back end of last year on loan. So you can get more out of Rondon, possibly rise it to 15 million. I don't know if West Ham would pay that, because I don't know, but West Brom third, obviously Bilic. He might sign half of Croatia tomorrow, you don't know. You could have Modric and Rakitic turn up and Mandzukic. He's crap. Well, he's gone against England, isn't he? Idiot. Second, I've got Leeds. So that means Fulham's obviously third. We're interested in signing Held Costa, Ben White from Brighton, Ryan Kent, I think, from Liverpool. He was on loan at Rangers, though. Obviously, there was talk of Buffon. Well, we knew that was rubbish the minute it was reported. Possibly bringing Totti out of retirement. I just don't think that'll happen. I don't keep my hopes for these things. Buffon's definitely not happening, because he's nearly signed for Juventus, so, like, re-signed for Juventus, rather. So, yeah. I don't know. I think there was talk, Phil Hay reported possibly Snodgrass, but that's died down a bit, them talks, so I'm not sure, but I hope we'll have a good season. I want us to win the league. Jack Clark, obviously, he's having a medical, I think, tomorrow at Tottenham, and I think we're going to get 15 million or so off him, and he's coming back for next season on a season on long loan, so that should be good. So I hope we win the league, but I'll have to go for second. And first, I'm going for Fulham. You've still got Mitrovic on your books. I think everyone tipped you to do well. You spent over 100 million. You just players didn't gel. So you need to sign the Championship quality. Players like Brian, I think they'll flourish in the Championship. Ex-Bristol City, obviously. I think Sessegnon, he doesn't want to be there. Tottenham want him. Just let him go. Get their money off him. Kearney, he's signed another long-term deal. Mitrovic was good, so obviously keep him if you can. I don't know who else really. Just like players that are still worth stuff that people want, just sell them, because they're not gonna do much. They're gonna be like Borjans. If you don't go straight back up, they're just gonna be there, and you're just not gonna use them, and just gonna waste your wage budget. So yeah, Fulham Championship in my opinion. Hopefully Leeds, but I've got Fulham. Alright, so thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out Harry King Vlogs Footy. That's my brother's channel. Don't forget to check that out, obviously. I think I'll put the link in the description for that. But that wraps up my Championship table predictions for the 1920 Championship season, obviously. Right, thank you for watching, and goodbye.